So today we'll be talking about atherosclerosis. Actually, yesterday का एक बार summary दे देंगे just in case someone did not understand infective endocarditis how it ended. Basically क्या हो रहा an infection is coming mostly acute and subacute में divide होता. You have acute type and subacute type of endocarditis, wherein subacute type is occurring from a less virulent bacteria, okay, LVB. This is occurring from a virulent bacteria. This occurs in a healthy heart, okay. So this occurs in a healthy heart. This occurs in an unhealthy person or an unhealthy heart or any heart that has already undergone some kind of damage. Another thing is the progression of the disease will be kind of similar in the sense that uh, bacteria once it enters into your what do you call circulation, it will go to your heart and it will enter your endocardium where it is. So let's suppose this is your this part of your endocardium, right? It will come attach here. So let me draw the bacteria in red. Let's suppose that bacteria is coming here. Now I'll draw both the scenarios where in one scenario you have damage, the other scenario you don't have damage. So second, okay. Let's suppose this is subacute type where heart is damaged. Okay, so I'll just write DMG here. That refers to damage. And here the acute type where there is no damage. यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा? The heart is normal in function and it is what do you call a healthy heart basically. What is happening? This bacteria enters, it presses into the endothelium, it will damage the endothelium here. So one second, let me show the damage this way. It will come in, damage the endothelium. So the damage I'm representing as green, and it will initiate an inflammatory process. In turn, what will happen is that infection will proliferate more. Your natural immunity is not able to take care of your what do you call, not able to take care of this bacteria, and this bacteria will start proliferating. It will start dividing left and right. Okay, especially in the cells that are present in your endothelium. It might even go deeper. It might go into your myocardium. It might go deeper into the muscular layer and all of that. So there is proper division. During all of this time, what will happen is macrophages will come into picture. So let's suppose this is a macrophage, right? They will come, they will try to phagocytose as much as possible, and all of this damage will basically lead to, this will basically extend, the damage will extend in a way that, so यहाँ पर inflammatory reaction हो रहा and the damage spreads. ठीक है? At the same time, the surrounding area will become plaque like. Okay, this is what is happening in endocarditis. All right, now if this plaque that contains bacteria and all, let's suppose a small part of this plaque gets detached, it gets broken out. Okay, let's suppose this part is getting broken out from this because of high blood pressure or because of simply blood hitting that plaque. A little bit of it might get dislodged. Okay, think of it like what do you call, a stone in a river, right? If I keep a large stone in a river, over time the size of the stone will decrease simply because the river is exerting pressure on the stone and a little bit of the stone is coming out every time. The same way, whenever blood flows here and puts pressure, what will happen is these infarcts will come out, right? These damaged particles will come out, plaque particles, which in turn contain the bacteria, because all of this place is a nice ground for bacteria to grow. Okay? And this is one area when the endocardium is getting affected. Now when the blood goes down like this, obviously these bacteria can also travel here. So what will happen is the rest of your endocardium here also can get affected, and from here, if this fellow is moving around in your body, it can affect other organs. So this is how your acute endocarditis will progress. In case of subacute endocarditis, I am going with a condition where the heart is already damaged. Okay, so let's suppose I show the damage in orange. Let's suppose there is already a little bit of damage here. This orange part is damaged because of heart attack or because of whatever reason. There was damage here and there is scar tissue or vertical a few nicks here and there. Basically the endocardium is not healthy. Okay, in that condition what is happening is the bacteria's job becomes easier, because if the bacteria comes, it will directly attack this area. because this area, meaning it will attack the whole endocardium, but this area is affected more because the heart is damaged already at this spot. It is a weak spot from where the whole reaction will occur like this. Bacteria is coming in, bacteria is proliferating, especially in immunocompromised patients, their inflammation will not be proper because their immunity is compromised. Let's suppose it is a patient like AIDS, or a patient who is taking or who is on chemotherapeutic regimen. Basically, they are getting treatment for cancer. Their immunity will be suppressed. In them, this bacteria will proliferate nicely. It will start involving the whole of endocardium and maybe even the whole of the heart. Okay, the infection can spread otherwise as well, in the sense that आजू बाजू के adjacent organs को भी affect कर सकता. It can affect your what do you call lungs. It can affect your thymus. It can affect other parts, right? It can affect your kidneys all around. So this is how in endocarditis will progress. Okay, I hope you understood this. Do you want me to repeat any particular part? या समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
पक्का? All of you.
Sir.
Sir, repeat acute, sir.
हाँ.
Acute endocarditis.
Acute and you want me to repeat acute? See,
Yes,
both of
sir. Yes.
them में the only difference between acute and subacute is that in subacute there is already damage in the heart. The patient is predisposed. Okay, this occurs in an unhealthy heart or in a person who already has some kind of cardiac damage. Acute endocarditis occurs in a healthy heart. Now, in acute endocarditis, what happens is both of them, the progression of the disease will be similar. It's just that causative organism will be different and यहाँ पर damage नहीं रहता. Okay, in acute there is no damage, so it's a healthy heart. What is happening is here I have a healthy heart. Okay, what is happening here? Bacteria will come. This fella will what you call try to lodge itself inside the endocardium of your heart. What will happen is the bacteria will start creating damage in the endocardium. Okay, the bacteria itself is so strong that it is creating damage. Here the heart is already damaged. Here there is no damage, but the bacteria is causing damage. The bacteria is strong enough. Please remember that subacute endocarditis generally occurs through commensals. They are weak bacteria as such. But when there is damage in a person, that is when subacute type of endocarditis occurs. Right? Acute endocarditis is more aggressive as well. It will occur more faster. The symptoms are also like stormy, meaning one after the other, several symptoms will pile up, and the disease is fulminant. It occurs very aggressively and very fast. Subacute takes time. Okay, so here the bacteria is coming, creating damage in your endocardium here, right? The damage is like this. This will trigger an inflammatory reaction. Inflammatory cells will come into picture. The macrophages will come, lymphocytes will come. All of them will try to kill that bacteria, but the bacteria is strong enough where it is able to survive your inflammatory reaction. Let's suppose the bacteria is coming here. One bacteria divides into, let's suppose one bacteria is dividing into 10,000 copies or a million copies, let's suppose. Okay, that's a million. So that is more than what your immunity can handle, right? So what happens is there'll be a profound inflammatory reaction and things start piling up because dead WBCs will be present here, dead T lymphocytes will be present here. That will be a proper battlefield, like a war zone between the bacteria and your immune cells. What will happen is the surrounding tissues will also get affected. So yeah, but the whole mitral valve might get affected, the endocardium here might get affected, and these bacteria might actually flow down into your ventricles where it is causing endocardial damage there. And once it is entering systemic circulation, it has access to all over your body. It can go to any organ and cause damage there. That is how endocarditis progresses. Okay, this will happen the same way in subacute as well. It's just that the initial point is a little different. समझ में आया?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, now coming to atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis is basically internal damage, okay, of your medium sized and large sized arteries, muscular arteries. In them what will happen is plaque formation will occur, because of which they are not functioning properly. So let's suppose I take one medium sized artery or a large size artery, the most common arteries or blood vessels that are affected will be your coronaries, your cerebral arteries, and your aorta. Okay? I'll just write it down. The most commonly affected ones are aorta, that takes what they call oxygenated blood from your left ventricle. Coronary arteries or coronaries, the blood vessels that supply oxygenated blood to your heart and the layers of your heart, right? And cerebral arteries, the arteries that will supply blood to your brain, right? These three are the most commonly affected, and the symptoms also that you will see in a patient with atherosclerosis, these three are more common, meaning the problems will mostly arise either in the heart, okay, or the problems will arise in the brain in the form of a stroke or in the form of heart attacks. Okay, that is what happens. अगर coronaries affect हो रहे specifically, what will happen is myocardial infarction. Now atherosclerosis में क्या होता? Basically, there are theories. Okay, there are several theories. We do not know the exact mechanism, but one theory suggests that the endothelial layer of your blood vessel that is getting damaged, because of which atherosclerotic plaque occurs. I'll show you how it happens. One second. So थोड़ा ऊपर कर देंगे so that we have enough drawing space. Are you following till here? What is happening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
अच्छा. Let's suppose ये clear है, and here I draw. अच्छा, let me draw it this way. ठीक है? The endothelial layer. By the way, blood vessel के layers याद है तुम लोगों को? What are the layers that are present in your blood vessel? What will be present under the endothelial layer? This is the endothelial layer. What will be present under the endothelial layer? ट्यूनिका क्या क्या की रहता है ना? अच्छा, कितनी देर लग रही है?
Tunica media, tunica interna.
हाँ. So you have this layer which is your tunica intima. ठीक है? This layer which is your tunica media. This is the muscular layer. Okay. Tunica media, it will have muscle cells. So let me draw muscular cells like this. Okay. Just some normal. Okay. ऐसा है समझो, muscular cells, and under that you will have tunica adventitia, tunica externa. Correct? These are the three layers of your blood vessel. Now you will have blood supply to your blood vessel itself, something called vasa vasorum. So small blood vessels will be present here, and they will go deep into your what do you call blood vessel layers itself and provide blood to your blood vessel. Most of the time what will happen is your blood vessel will get blood, because blood vessel is also a living organ, living a bunch of living cells. It needs oxygen, it needs blood to survive. So most of the blood will come directly from here, and nutrients and all are taken from here, but some of it, especially the bigger arteries and bigger veins, they will need a separate set of blood vessels like this. Okay, these are called vasa vasorum. Okay, just keep that in mind. अभी के लिए मैं ये delete कर देता हूँ. Now our hypothesis is there is a problem in the epithelial layer of your blood vessel because of whatever reason. There are several reasons. We'll go over the etiology. First, I'll explain of what is the pathogenesis and the pathology behind it. Okay, pathogenesis. यहाँ पर there is a problem in the epithelial cell. Let's suppose there is a problem here. Okay, that part of the endothelium is getting damaged, because of which what is happening is LDL, low density lipoprotein. So let me draw low density lipoprotein like this, and let's suppose this is your low density lipoprotein. This fellow, what will this fellow do is, whenever there is endothelial damage, this fellow will come inside. Okay, now you have LDL inside. Okay, please feel free to stop me at any point if you're not understanding. Okay, because it is a chain reaction that one after the other, there'll be several steps involved. Okay, LDL comes in. Now what happens is LDL, once it comes in, it will get oxidized. So you get an oxidized form of LDL here. So let me do oxidized LDL like this. Okay, and let me put a small, let's suppose this is the oxidized LDL. What oxidized LDL in turn does is, see, normally LDL should not be present inside your blood vessel, right? It is out of place. So what will happen is your endothelium, other than oxidizing your LDL, what it will do is it will start calling monocytes, okay, and it will call T cells. So basically it is calling police to remove this fellow. Okay, this fellow should not, LDL should not be present inside your blood vessel. Here your endothelium, because of some damage in your endothelium, LDL is entering inside your blood vessel, and in turn what your endothelium will do is it will start calling police. Please come help. That police is your monocyte and T cells. These monocytes, they will enter your tissue space, and what will happen when monocytes enter tissue space? They will transform, no? They'll become something. What will happen? What happens when monocyte enters tissues? They will transform into something, no? क्या रे तुम लोग पूरा बेसिक्स भूल गया तो मुश्किल. I explained this extensively in inflammation. Monocytes, whenever they undergo diapedesis and they enter into your tissue space, they will form macrophages. See, all of the diseases that you will study from here on out or ever will rely on your basic uh, understanding of pathology and basics of inflammation and all. If you forget that, it will be very, very hard for you to understand any disease. Every time you will have to start from scratch. What is monocyte? What is diabetes? How did this fellow come? वो पूरा हर बार नहीं पढ़ते, एक बार अच्छे से पढ़ो and commit it to memory. ठीक है. Now this monocyte has become a macrophage. So let's suppose this is a macrophage and this fellow's nucleus. Okay. What happens is the progression of the disease goes in this way. Macrophage, once it comes inside your endothelial layer, it will engulf, it will phagocytose this form, this fat cell, okay, or this lipoprotein. Whenever a macrophage phagocytoses the lipoprotein, this fellow will transform into something called a foam cell. Okay, so it will become a little larger and it will have granules of fat inside. Okay, so those LDL granules will be like fat inside that macrophage. This is called a foam cell. So I'll just write it down here. Okay. Now, before entering and even the other lipoproteins, before they are getting phagocytosed, what this oxidized lipoprotein does is it creates a few reactions in your blood vessel itself. They will cause smooth muscle proliferation and they will cause these smooth muscle cells to come into your intima. Okay, I'll repeat once again. Lipoprotein, it is all starting. This is a hypothesis. Okay, there are 2-3 hypotheses. We are discussing one of the most important hypotheses. Here we are hypothesizing how endothelial damage will lead to atherosclerosis. Endothelial damage is occurring because of which LDL, okay, low density lipoprotein, is coming into your blood vessel, specifically enters your intima. Once it is entering your intima, your endothelial tissues are oxidizing that lipoprotein. When it is oxidizing the lipoprotein, your endothelium will call for help because this oxidized what you call lipoprotein is trapped there, it cannot move out. So what will happen is your endothelium will call monocytes and T cells. Monocytes, once they enter tissue space or they enter intima, they will become macrophages, and these macrophages in turn they will engulf this lipoprotein in a bid to remove them, in a bid to eliminate them. Okay, whenever macrophages eat up these LDLs, they will become foam cells, okay, particles with fats inside them. Okay, before dying, and these other oxidized, so let's suppose I have another molecule of oxidized LDL. So these fellows, what they will do is, oh, this is an oxidized particle. These fellows, they will in turn stimulate your tunica media. Okay, the cells inside your tunica media, that is the muscular layer, the smooth muscle cells, they will start migrating into your intima. They'll start moving inside your intima. They should be present in your media, but they'll start moving towards your intima. Okay, and it will also cause proliferation of your smooth muscle cell, meaning smooth muscle cell will start dividing. All of this will cause one fellow to come into picture. Whenever smooth muscle cell is entering your intima and it is dividing, collagen will come here. Okay, collagen. So let me, this is collagen. Okay, what will happen is, this is, here I'm drawing only a single foam cell. Like this, several lipoproteins will come, several monocytes will come, all of them will start accumulating, and I'll erase this and draw again so that you understand a little bit better. Now ये आपका, एक second, let's suppose this is your endothelial layer, and like this, what is happening is, यहाँ पर we are coming to the point where there are several foam cells here. ठीक है, there are several of these cells, and what will end up happening is, these foam cells at one point of time, so there is foam cells here, there are smooth muscle cells present here in this area, in this is all in your intima. Okay, what will end up happening is, at one point of time, these macrophages, which are modified, these foam cells, they will die, and when they die, they will spill out this fat. They will spill this what do you call, lipoprotein that they had consumed. Lipoprotein is basically a lipid molecule with a proteinaceous molecule, right? So I have fat inside this macrophage. What will happen is, this fat will come out. This fat along with, now T cell bhi aata andar, so T cell along with monocyte had come, right? T cell will come, it will interact with these foam cells, and it will start calling other what do you call, inflammatory cells. It will secrete some cytokines, and it will call other immune cells to remove this lipoprotein. It is all done so that lipoprotein can be moved out of your intima. But the reverse is happening. More and more accumulation is occurring here, because of which at one point what will happen is, you will see a lot of smooth muscle cell being present in your intima along with collagen. So you will see a lot of collagen here. At one point what will happen is, see, this is what plaque will look like. Okay, the whole layer, this layer, this whole part, what will happen is, your blood vessel will start to rise up literally. Okay, this fellow will start pushing on the surface of your blood vessel, in the sense that initially aisa tha na, एक second, initially your endothelial layer was like this, and this was your lumen, right? This is where the blood is flowing. Now what will happen is, this plaque will start putting pressure on the endothelial layer. So what will happen is, now your endothelial layer will start looking like this. So aisa, ठीक है? See, as you can see, the lumen, or the size of that, diameter of that blood vessel has decreased. What will happen is, at one point of time, because of excessive pressure from here, this fellow will rupture. Okay, in the sense that you will see damage here, and it will rupture. And when it ruptures, you will see a lot of fat, molecules of fat, collagen, and all of this being exposed to your blood. One thing you need to know about fat is, it is very thrombogenic. It will cause clotting. Okay, several thrombocytes. It is very thrombogenic in the sense that it can get clotted very quickly. So what will happen is, it will attract thrombocytes. So यहाँ पर damage हुआ ना blood vessel को, your thrombocytes will come into picture now. So your thrombocytes will try to block this area, so that bleeding or blood does not move into here. Because there is a damage in your blood vessel, blood can rush in if there is no thrombocyte. Okay, so this fat in turn will be very thrombogenic and it will call a lot of thrombocytes. Along with thrombocytes, you will see a lot of fibrin coming in. So coagulation occurs and it will try to form a clot. Now in this process, what is happening to your blood vessel? If you can see, it has become much more thinner. Okay, the diameter of your blood vessel has become very thin to a point that in some cases it will completely get blocked. Okay, this is when occlusion occurs. This is when thrombosis leads to occlusion, wherein here there is no blood supply. Now in this region there is no blood supply because everything is getting blocked up here. Aisa aata, it will get pushed back because it is not able to go out, or even if there is a little bit of space, very little amount of blood can go out. This is what atherosclerosis looks like. समझ में आया explanation? Did you understand the explanation, or do you want me to repeat any particular part or anything that you didn't understand?
Sir, last part.
Last part. कहाँ से? Thrombosis से.
हाँ सर, ये ब्लॉकेज वाला.
अब देखो, let me erase this fellow. What is happening is this plaque, as it keeps on growing, it will start putting pressure on the endothelial layer. Now, I told you endothelial layer is already slightly damaged. Now, this plaque is literally putting physical pressure on the blood vessel, okay, on the endothelial layer. What will happen is at one point of time, this endothelial layer will rupture, it will break. And when it ruptures, normally this is injury, right? Whenever there is injury, clotting should occur, or else blood will flow completely out. So that should not happen. So your body will respond by sending thrombocytes here. And another thing, this fat molecules that you're seeing here, they are very thrombogenic. They are very attractive to thrombocytes. So thrombocytes will rush to this area and clotting occurs. Okay? Thrombocytes are rushing to this area and clotting is occurring. In this process, a lot of fibrin will also be involved and a fibrous mesh-like structure will be formed. Now, in this, as you can see, what is happening to the lumen of your blood vessel? Initially, it was this big. Now it has become this thin. Sometimes what happens is thrombosis is so extensive, meaning so many thrombocytes will come, is that this will be completely blocked. Okay, that is a condition wherein the blood vessel will not work properly at all, because blood vessel is not able to give blood. Either se jo bhi blood ja raha, it is not able to flow through. Right? This does not occur. This is atherosclerosis. All right. I hope that answered your doubt.
Yes sir.
Anyone else? Any doubts? ये समझ में आया कैसा progression हो रहा?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please feel free to stop and ask doubts. Now, coming to etiology, what causes atherosclerosis? Though we do not know the pinpoint mechanism or the pinpoint cause, there are a few factors. Okay, I'll just list out those factors and explain about those factors individually. First one is age. As people age, especially those around 40 years and over 40, plaques will build up. Okay, especially for those people who lead a very sedentary lifestyle. Right, in those people, as they keep aging, the risk of atherosclerosis will increase, and there is a very good chance that atherosclerosis might already be present in those people. The next one, sex or gender, in the sense that men will always be more prone to atherosclerosis than women, especially more in case when the woman is premenopausal, because in premenopausal women there is one particular hormone called estrogen which is very high in their blood. Estrogen is very cardioprotective. Estrogen itself is cardioprotective, and it will also cause high amounts of high density lipoprotein to be present in your blood. Whenever there is high HDL in your blood, less amount of fat will be present in your blood. You know how HDL works. HDL will take whatever fat is present flowing around in your blood, and it will send to your liver. That is why you need to have high amount of HDL and low amount of LDL. Okay? In that way, women are kind of safer in this sense. ठीक है, post menopausal women में risk बढ़ जाता, because estrogen level will decrease. In them, the risk of getting atherosclerosis will increase. Sometimes equal to men, sometimes more than men, but most of the times it will be less than men, the risk of getting atherosclerosis. All right. The next factor will be genetic. So if someone has a genetic predisposition where, let's suppose, their endothelial blood vessels endothelium is not proper, or they have very aggressive inflammation, or they have very aggressive what do you call lipoproteins, or in any case a genetic predisposition where atherosclerosis might occur, definitely plays a role. Can I'll just take your attendance. B2 now. Oh. 15/7/2020 कौन है? अनुषा, शांति, संजय, याजक, वंशी, वंदना. Right. So coming to the other factor, there is familial factors, familial and racial. In the sense that if someone has a family member who has atherosclerosis, especially first degree relatives, there is a chance that the person might also develop atherosclerosis. And racially speaking, African Americans, black people, they are generally more susceptible to what you call atherosclerosis, but less severe than in whites. Than Caucasians, they will have less severity, but they might get atherosclerosis more commonly. Then there is hyperlipidemia. Okay. Hyperlipidemia is a condition in which there is excessive amount of lipid present in your blood. I just told you the mechanism. If there is high amount of lipoprotein, you will have there is a higher chance of you getting atherosclerosis, because more amount of lipoprotein means there is a higher chance for it to come inside your blood vessel. That is why hypercholesterolemia or hyperlipidemia, both of them will play a very strong role, almost direct proportion to getting atherosclerosis. The more what do you call amount of lipid that you have, the more chance of you getting atherosclerosis will be present. Hypertension. If someone has hypertension, especially if a systolic, if someone has a hypertension of 160/95, they will be at 5 times more risk of developing atherosclerosis than a normal patient. As such, if someone has hypertension, it will be a major risk factor for development of atherosclerosis, because agar blood pressure high hai, see, it started with the hypothesis that we discussed was there was a problem in the endothelium, right? If there is hypertension, blood is flowing with a lot of pressure. That means that the pressure of the blood can damage your endothelial layer as well. That damage might trigger formation of plaques, atherosclerotic plaques, right? So hypertension, especially if someone has very high blood pressure, like 160/95, that will uh, make the patient or person more susceptible, almost 5 times more susceptible than a normal person to get atherosclerosis. Then smoking, cigarette smoking, nicotine consumption, this has been shown to significantly increase the risk of atherosclerosis. Lastly, diabetes mellitus. If someone has type 1 or type 2 diabetes, there is a very good chance that they will develop atherosclerosis at an earlier age than normal, okay, versus someone who does not have diabetes mellitus. Right. Now, the pathological changes that you will see in atherosclerosis, they can be summed up into 4 categories. Okay, the first one is fatty streaks and dots. This basically refers to a condition where fat is getting deposited inside your intima. See, initially it might be harmless, because if 1 or 2 molecules of lipoprotein is coming, that is harmless. That will not make a lot of difference. Or even if small lesions are occurring, that is fine. But as it progresses, okay, let's suppose the patient already had a lesion in that blood vessel, and that is where fat is getting deposited. That will what do you call that will be a nice ground from where atherosclerotic plaque can develop. It can proliferate, right? It can become larger and larger to the extent that a proper plaque is occurring and blood vessel is becoming narrower. Okay, they might be very small, these fatty streak or dots, they might be very small on the intima, or they might be slightly larger as well, around 1 mm in size. Okay, that is one change that you will see. Second change is gelatinous lesions. Lesion is a damage on anything. Okay, so lesion literally means damage. Gelatinous lesions, these will develop on the intima of your aorta specifically. People who have atherosclerosis, in them, in their aorta, you will see small gelatinous lesion. You will also see them in some other major arteries, but aorta is more susceptible. Like fatty streaks, uh, they will become precursors for plaques. Whenever there is fatty streak or dot, or wherever there is gelatinous lesion, that area has become more susceptible or more predisposed for plaque formation, meaning that area is weak, wherein plaque formation can occur. For example, if I have, let's suppose, a big dam. Okay, let's suppose I am building a big dam, water ka dam ratana, dm, that dam, and what do you call, there is one small area where there is a crack. Okay, where do you think the dam will break down from? If it ever breaks down, it will break down from the place where it has cracked, right? Wherever the weak spot is, from there damage will become extensive. The same way, this gelatinous lesion or fatty streaks, they will predispose the patient to atherosclerotic plaques, meaning the plaques, if they occur, they will occur from those areas. The third pathological change are atheromatous plaques. So proper plaque formation, I just explained how they will occur, right? Fully developed atherosclerotic lesion, these will, what you call, become a atherosclerotic plaque, and they might become so large that they might become almost 1 to 2 centimeters in what you call height, in the sense that agar blood vessel hai, as a blood vessel hai, so it might rise like this to almost 1 to 2 centimeters. All right, quite a big rise, and they might spread as well. They might become thicker as well. So they might what do you call, occupy a big area, in the sense that a plaque can become like this as well. Right, big area, thickening wise and height wise as well. All right. The last will be complicated plaques. This generally occurs when someone has atherosclerosis for a long period of time. Okay? Complicated plaques. Complicated plaques में क्या होता? यहाँ पर when atheromas are being formed, ultimately this is an inflammatory kind of damage. Here calcification will occur. And whenever calcification is occurring, this area will become hardened. Okay, to the point that when you perform surgery, it will break like an eggshell. Okay, egg rata na, gudlu, yeah. How the what do you call, the shell of an egg breaks, the plaque will break like that when you're performing a surgery. That is a complicated plaque, because calcification has occurred in that plaque area and it has hardened, and what will happen is this whole area will get affected. It will become very necrotic, and you might even see some necrotic fluid coming out there. Okay, because that area is not getting oxygen anymore. Necrosis might develop and all of that. That is a complicated plaque. Okay, this is about your atherosclerosis. I hope समझ में आया. Want me to repeat any particular part or anything in atherosclerosis? No.
Sir, once repeat fatty streaks.
Fatty streaks. Fatty streaks क्या है? If suppose this is the intimal layer of your what do you call, blood vessel, fatty streaks are basically dots of fat, 1 or 2 particles of fat that are coming and getting lodged inside your what do you call, tunica intima. They might be present slightly, almost like 1 mm in length, or it might just be a dot of fat. But what happens is, from here on out, the plaque can develop. This will basically make the blood vessel weak. That is a fatty streak or a fatty dot. Okay, you might see it as a little streak or like a dot. Okay,
Thank you,
चलो
sir.
चलो ठीक है.